Oi, cancer is a positive in the evolutionary sense. Ask any biologist, well, any that wants to entertain what I'm about to say. How can cancer be a positive? Cancer is one of those things that's just ravaging humanity, killing people early at a very young age. Good people, too. You see, I am illiterate, and that allows me to see things the way that they are than the way that I want them to be. Do you understand? If you get angry at the fact that I said cancer is a positive, I have dimples, but I got such a shitty camera you can't even see the. Oh, dimples are facial deformities. This is a facial or this was caused. I ran into a pole, so my head is caved in. This is what probably make me think like this. Nature, in 1 minute in, nature is only interested, right, in creating perfect species, not perfect human being. Nature is interested in creating perfect species and not perfect human beings. Let me explain. Evolution is something that I still think about, and I don't really have that much faith in it or belief, or you can say it's a theory, and you know, there's many ways you can experiment it and look at it and empirical evidence and test and all of this. I don't care. How do we test my claim that nature is only interested in creating perfect species and not perfect human beings? Nature's creating in such a way where cancer, whether in animals or in human beings, is something that sort of it's like a trial and error. Nature is trying things constantly. And so cancer becomes an error in its trial to create perfect species. When cancer, so let's say melanoma, for example, which is the skin cancer in this case, there is always growth. These cells are sort of working, collaborating at a much better rate than human beings, by the way. You see, cells millions of years ago have figured it out that they depend on one another. So the life of one cell depends on the one next to it. We still have not figured that out yet. That's why we have wars. We have people that just go out and you can say we're a bit more complicated than cells. Are we though? Think about it. Are we really more complicated than the cells in your body? I'll doubt it. Would I debate you on it? No. I'll give you time to kind of see what I mean. And if you don't see it, then it doesn't matter. But nature is only interested in creating perfect species, and its attempt to create perfect species over time, there will be errors, such as cancer in this case being an error. But why is it a positive? I say it's a positive because in the nature's pursuits to create perfect human beings, perfect human species, whatever creature, perfect species all across the board. It's trying things. And in trying things, certain creatures die. In this case, the human being will die from cancers, and another disease will come up uh, in its attempt to uh, sort of adapt to its environment, in its attempt to become bigger, stronger. Anyways, how this is going to end, I don't know. How I think nature will experiment with us, not just fit on a physiological level, so in this case with cancer, but it's also experimenting with us on a mental level, on a psychological level. I don't even know if there is a psyche in this case. I still argue that there is a lot to be studied in psychology. But if we had to go with Claire Graves, for example, spiral dynamics, spiral dynamics being a value system, what do you see happening in spiral dynamic with the uh I wouldn't say levels because they're not levels. On the spirals, we're going from something as small as a blob or a human child, a baby in the veg, all the way to tier 2 to tier 3 now, I think is. And what am I banging on about? I'm confusing people here. In spiral dynamic scale, on the spiral, it is saying that there are different levels of consciousness and different levels in values. What we hold valuable is different from each stage. I wouldn't even say stage. I'm doing such a poor job explaining something. How can you understand something and at the same time not be able to explain it well? If I was a wordsmith, I would probably be doing a better job. But spiral dynamic is an example of experiment and how nature is creating mutations in the human psyche. So somebody who is an, uh, an awakened master in the Himalayas or something compared to someone who is a warlord, total different people. Somebody who is a hippie and somebody on Wall Street, total different people. As spiral dynamic in this case is experimenting with these human vessels. Nature is experimenting with these human vessels. For what reason, I don't know. And on a physiological level, we get things like diseases, or when something does go right, you get the sort of animals, when they have evolved to the point where they have poison within them that they shoot out to defend themselves from the prey or from the predators, from the animals hunting them, and that poison is shot out or let out. That evolved over time in order for that animal to be able to defend itself. Similar to the cells, have a way of fighting viruses, have a way of collaborating, working together, and just targeting something that will bring death to them. And if that thing does bring death to the cells, that mutation does bring death to the cells, in this case, cancer, nature is in a way trying to figure out how to right that error, how to better it, how to guard against it, how to maybe eradicate it even, or how to fight it. And that very same deformity, mutation, whatever you want to call it, it was responsible for its creation. So there will be different elements sort of collaborating. In this case, the sun hits the skin collaborates with the sun, the environment, everything else. So will we ever solve the cancer? I don't know. Will we ever treat it? I don't know. How can we treat it? Because we think it's a disease. We still have this mindset that is something that needs to be treated. We don't look at it as nature's experimenting. We look at it as something that needs to be solved and eradicated. We need to get rid of cancer. That's our mindset. We need to find a cure for it. But we have not yet stopped to realize that cancer is part of nature experimenting on making us better species. That's what it is. That's all that there is. If I was to get cancer today, I would not cry about it. I'll just realize that nature picked me for this weird experiment, which I did not volunteer for. But it has the right to do so, as I'm just a puppet in it. I'm just something for it to play with and experiment on. As scary as that sound, in its attempt to make better species. What would be the better species? I don't know. Maybe it won't be us. Maybe it'll be the cockroaches. You see, the cockroaches are a superior creature in that they take such a long time to die. Now imagine if these cockroaches, I'm just using some sci-fi thinking here, uh, almost, let's say in the 25th century, what I don't know, maybe 1,000 years, a few thousand years down the lines, somehow we blow ourselves up, or we all eradicate ourselves. We become extinct. A new species will arise, you see, and nature will try to make that species perfect. And it'll go through trials and tribulation, and it'll put that creature through hardships, through whatever. Now, I am not an educated man, and thank God I am not. I make no attempts to be one. If I did, that would be my tragedy. Take care, and let nature do its thing. We are just puppets in its whole ecosystem. You see, if it needs energy, it'll come take one of our lives. It takes your breath away and go use your breath as energy somewhere in the universe to create some weird Milky Way or like a black hole or something. That's what's going to happen to me one day. This energy that allows me to move and talk will be taken away because it gave it to me, and it will take it away. I'm not talking about God here. I'm talking about something as simple as everyday nature, the wind that you walk into, the water that you drink, that type of nature. Nothing mystical, nothing unknown. That nature right there, when you walk outside and the sun hits you in the face, that is what's experimenting. This Mother Earth, Gaia, whatever you want to call it, it's just experimenting with us all. And we're still children. We still don't understand that this thing does not have feelings, bro. It just creates. It just creates. Give birth to dinosaurs and kill them if it feels like it. It's just one big experiment with no goal at all. Just like your life, there is no goal to what it is doing, but it is trying to create better species. But for what reason? I am a mere human being, a mere mortal. I don't know why. Maybe one of you knows why nature is trying to create perfect human beings. Maybe it's trying to create perfect human beings so it can watch them fight and just sit there because nature enjoy conflicts. Just watch us kill ourselves, makes us create us to be strong, and then watch us kill ourselves. And in the event, in the process of creating us to be strong, it's killing us along the way too, and it's making us stronger warriors for its own amusement, just to watch us just fucking fight each other, fight big monsters, fight with our minds. And that's the whole game of nature, is just to watch what will happen. If I do this, if I tweak this button here, what will happen? That's literally nature in a nutshell. If I press this, what would happen? Press it. Oh, if I press that, what will happen? Oh shit, let me correct that now. Okay, that went wrong. Let me try this again. Oh, that's all right. Let me try put thought in them. Put thought. Oh, that's not working well. Thought has become a disease. Let me change, tweak it, maybe improve it. That's all it's doing for the till the end of time, just tweaking away, tweaking away, tweaking at everything. And so cancer is just one of those things of nature just tweaking away. Those people with cancer, I don't know how you should take that what I just said, bro. But it is something that's very hard to discuss. Very, very hard. I know if I got cancer, I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be sad. I'll just accept it as just it is what it is, man. All right, stay safe.